Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a really massive issue in the world of home and business security, and that is deceptive tech marketing. You might absolutely think you've bought top-of-the-line surveillance gear, but the reality, well, it could be dangerously different. Okay, let's dive into this. So, I want you to just imagine a scenario for a second. You've invested in this brand new security camera, right? You carefully installed it, you're feeling secure, everything's great. But then, an actual security incident happens at your property. You rush to check the footage, completely relying on those impressive, bold technical specs printed on the side of the box, only to find out that those specifications, they were a complete fabrication. How would you feel? Honestly, it's a chilling thought. But the crazy part is, it's happening to everyday consumers every single day. And the stakes here are absolutely incredibly high. The experts over at InfoGuide NG highlight the real-world consequence of falling for this trap. Listen, if you buy a deceptive camera, you are essentially purchasing an quote, expensive wall decoration. Honestly, a painting would probably deter a burglar better, because when an incident actually occurs and you desperately need to identify an intruder, zooming in on their face just scatters the image into these giant blocks of blurry squares. Your security literally fails precisely when you need it the absolute most. So in this explainer, we'll walk through a solid framework to verify true camera quality. We'll cover the fake resolution trap. Step 1, the license plate test. Step 2, the fast motion test. Step 3, the true darkness test. And finally, getting real security, not imitations. Moving right along to Section 1, the fake resolution trap. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how vendors actually pull this off. When you're out there browsing the electronics market, the culprit behind those flashy 4K Ultra HD or 5-megapixel stickers is often something called interpolated lenses. You can kind of think of this as a technological Trojan horse. The camera essentially lies to the software. It takes a really low-quality basic 2-megapixel image, and then it uses built-in software to artificially stretch it out. So on paper, it looks like this massive high-resolution file. But the actual raw visual data, it just isn't there. It's literally just a stretched-out low-quality image. But don't worry, to empower you against this trickery, InfoGuide NG has put together a genuinely brilliant 3-step verification process. This is a super practical test that you can use right now, ideally before you hand over a single dime, to avoid purchasing completely ineffective equipment. Let's break down exactly how you execute each of these 3 steps. Which brings us to Step 1, the license plate test. Okay, picture your own driveway for a second. Before buying a camera, ask the vendor to point it at a parked car, say about 15 meters away. With a genuine, authentic, high-resolution asset, you're going to be able to clearly read the letters and numbers on that license plate without straining your eyes at all. But if you ask the vendor to zoom in, and those characters suddenly turn into squiggly lines or just a total blurry mess, yeah, you're looking at a counterfeit lens. It is really that simple. If it's squiggly, just walk away. All right, moving on to Step 2, the fast motion test. Now, bad cameras, they might look perfectly fine when everything they're capturing is just sitting completely still. But, intruders run. They move fast. When you check the playback of a moving person, a high-quality camera is going to show a clear, identifiable human being. A low-quality camera, on the other hand, really struggles, creating what InfoGuide NG describes as a ghost-like shadow, or this weird trailing image across the screen. So the crucial point is that a trailing image is a massive red flag. It means the frame rate is simply way too low to give you any real security when it counts. And that leads us to Step 3, the true darkness test. Now, this is when you rely on surveillance the most, right? In the dark. When the lights completely go out, those cheap interpolated cameras switch to this awful, grainy black and white mode that is just completely filled with static and digital noise. Premium high-grade sensors, however, and this slide brilliantly illustrates the difference in those sensors, they maintain a sharp, full-color view even when operating in deep shadows. So always insist on a darkroom test to verify that night vision capability before you permanently install anything. Finally, Section 5, real security, not imitations. By actually using this simple 3-step test, you can confidently spot those cheap imitations. And it's definitely worth noting that InfoGuide NG, the folks who developed this methodology, well, they aren't just some random blog. They're actually a massive, highly trusted directory for technical tutorials. We're talking everything from calculating solar power sizing and battery-free hybrid installations to complex phone motherboard repairs and even avoiding traps when buying a smart TV. They really are an essential resource for navigating our crazy modern electronics market safely. So I want to leave you with this one thought to end our explainer today. Really think about the surveillance equipment you might already have installed at home, or maybe the gear you're planning to buy soon. If an incident happened tonight, right there on your property, would your camera reveal the truth, or would it just give you giant blocks of blurry squares? Please don't let your security be an expensive wall decoration. Use the three-step test, demand actual proof from your vendors, and ensure your tech is truly working for you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay secure out there.